Despite a chorus of calls for France's Christine Lagarde to become a new leader of the International Monetary Fund, the French finance minister has remained silent on her possible candidacy of the role. Arriving at a seminar discussing the Group of 20 or G20 industrialized and emerging countries, Legarde did not speak to the media as she walked with French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Legarde has emerged as a front-runner to replace Dominique Strauss-Kahn, also French, who resigned this week to face charges in New York that he tried to rape a hotel maid, although he denies the charges. Some would prefer a leader from an emerging nation rather than another European chief for the IMF, which provides billions in loans to stabilize the world economy. The IMF's executive board said it planned to make a choice by the end of June. Legarde, who is 55 years old, has a clean-cut image and has been praised for her acumen in helping steer Europe through the global financial crisis and its more recent debt woes. She speaks impeccable English and spent much of her career in the United States as a lawyer. One of the longest-serving ministers under Sarkozy, Legarde eased French labor laws and helped France weather its worst recession since World War II better than many other developed countries. Legarde's chances for the top IMF job got a boost on Friday when Kemal Dervish, a former finance minister for Turkey, said he did not want to be considered for the position. Dervish, who had been considered perhaps the leading non-European candidate, said he was happy in his current position at the Brookings Institution, a Washington think tank. Meanwhile, Thailand's finance minister Gon Jatikawan's name cropped up in papers as the International Monetary Fund's executive board formally began the process of choosing a new leader. The editorials emphasized that a candidate from outside Europe or the United States would be preferable and that the world needs an IMF boss who would be open to the realities of fiscal problems facing the world's major economies.
A massive tornado blasted its way across the southwestern Missouri, flattening several blocks of homes and businesses, smashing up cars and leaving an untold number of people dead. The storm left behind piles of bricks and wood where homes once stood. Cars were ripped apart and thrown on top of each other. A wrecked helicopter lay on its side in front of a damaged hospital. All that was left on one hillside was bare trees stripped of their leaves and branches. Missouri authorities said they could confirm that people had died in Joplin, but the numbers were unknown late Sunday, and police said they had stopped the search overnight. Details about the number of fatalities and injuries were difficult to obtain even for emergency management officials because the tornado knocked out powers, landline phones, and some cell phone towers. Triage centers and shelters were set up around the city. At Memorial Hall, a downtown entertainment venue, nurses and other emergency workers from area hospitals were treating critically injured patients. Hundreds of windows were blown out. St. John's Regional Medical Centers, where a few moments' notice gave staff time to hustle patients into hallways before the tornado struck the multi-story building. All were quickly evacuated into the parking lot to be moved to other hospitals in the region. The same storm system that produced the Joplin tornado spawned twisters along the broad swath of the Midwest from Oklahoma to Wisconsin. At least one person was killed in Minneapolis. The storm that hit Joplin spread debris around 60 miles away, with medical records, x-rays, insulations, and other items falling into the ground in green country. Schools in the disaster zone were flattened or severely damaged. Phone communications in and out of the city, about 50,000 people, about 160 miles south of Kansas City, were largely cut off. Travel through and around Joplin was difficult, with Interstate 44 shut down and streets clogged with emergency vehicles and the wreckage of buildings.
Coming up after the break, we have the update on the Thai-Cambodian border conflicts as the surveyors will head to the border.